In this session, let's understand about screen events. Before you can work with these screens, you need to first understand the different screen events that are triggered by the runtime system so that you know where you should be handling what when you're processing the screen. So if you remember, when I was giving you an introduction to the application server, I said whenever you make a request, the request will be sent to the application server, and in that we have this dispatcher which will see which work process is free to take the request, and it will assign that request to the work process. And within the work process, if you remember, there are three components. One is the screen processor, ABAP interpreter, and the database interface. So all the screen activities are handled by this screen processor. So the screen processor is the one which will trigger the screen events, and it is also responsible to ensure that all the data that the user inputs on the screen is transferred to the application server into our program. And similarly, whatever data we want to display on the screen, it will be transferred from the program to the screen, where it will be displayed to the user in the presentation layer. So the screen processor will take care of data transfer between screen to program and program to screen, and it will also trigger these various screen events. So there are 4 screen events that are there. One is process before output. We call it PBO. And then process after input, which is also called PAI. And then we have this process on help request, POH, and process on value request. POV. Process before output, PBO, is triggered before showing the screen. Every time before the screen is displayed to the user, it will trigger this process before output event. And after the screen is displayed, when a user performs any action on the screen, like hitting enter or selecting any buttons on the screen, then it will trigger PAI, process after input event. So if you want to execute any code after this, for example, the user clicks on a button and after that you want to run some code, then that code should be maintained in process after input, PAI. And the POH is triggered when the user selects F1 help on the screen field. So if you have a screen field and if you want to provide some F1 help for the field, then when the user selects that F1 help button, it will trigger this POH. And similarly, if the user selects F4 help on your screen field, then it will trigger this POV event. So whatever code you want to write or execute, when the user selects F4 help on a screen field, you can write that code under POV event. For example, let's say you are showing one input field where the user can input the path of a file. Then either you can manually type it or you can provide him an F4 help using which he can select the file from his operating system directories. So for that I have to write some code, and I'll be writing that code under POV event because I want that code to be executed only when the user selects F4 help on my input field. So these are the 4 screen events that are triggered whenever a screen is being processed. And the flow will be, it will first trigger PBO and it will display the screen, and when the user performs an action, it will trigger PAI, and after PAI it will again trigger PBO and then displays the screen again. For example, if you want to see that in debug mode, this is the flow logic. Whenever you create a screen, by default you'll see this PBO and PAI events maintained by default. So to create a module, it also creates a couple of modules which are commented. So I can uncomment it and activate. So from the flow logic, we use this module statement to call a module, and this module should be maintained in the main program for which this screen is defined. So either I can go to that main program and maintain this module between module and module, or I can simply double click here in the flow logic. It will, if the module exists, it will take me there. Otherwise it will prompt me, do you want to create it? I'll say yes. And here I'll select main program, or you can also keep them in one include. So for modularization, we generally keep one include program for all PBO modules and keep my PBO modules there, and I'll create one include program for PAI modules and keep all my PAI modules there. That is only for modularization or to arrange your code better. For now, I'll just select main program because I want to create this module directly in my main program. I'll select OK. Then it will create this module. If you see, all the PBO modules end with output. So the syntax is module, module name, output, and similarly, if I go back again to the flow logic, all the PAI modules end with input. So here you see, when I created the PBO module, it added this output. When I created this PAI module, it added this input. So I won't write any code. So I have this flow logic in which I've created a couple of modules and I'm calling them in the flow logic, one module in PBO and one module in PAI. And to run this, I'll quickly create one transaction code, and our screen number is 100. So I'll right click on the program name, create transaction. Here I'll give some transaction code. Let's say Z underscore MP. And you have different options here for dialog transactions, the one which we are creating currently. We select the first option, program and screen. If you want to create a transaction for your report programs, those executable programs, then you can select this program and selection screen option. Similarly, you can also call a method directly by a transaction code. So in such case, you select this method of a class, and we also have this transaction screen, transaction with variant. So if you remember when we talked about these executable programs, I talked about whenever you are running this program, you can directly run it using a variant. So the variant will have all the selection criteria. When we talk about selection screens later, we'll talk about that variants in detail. So when you want to run a transaction with variant, by default, we typically use this for background jobs. So when you want to run a program in the background, then there won't be any user who can input the selection criteria. So what we do is we create a variant and we'll use that variant while running the program so that the system can automatically take these selection inputs. And we also have this transaction with parameters where you can pass certain parameters when a particular transaction is called. In that scenario, we create this transaction with parameters. For now, we'll create the first option, program and screen. Click OK. I have to see st12 underscore mp. And here we give the program name. This is my program name. And your program can have any number of screens, but when you run a transaction, it will first display the initial screen. So you give the initial screen that should be displayed when your program is executed via this transaction code. So give the screen number, and once screen is called, then within this screen you can call other screens by writing some code in your program. And then if you want to restrict this transaction to only certain users, then we give some authorization object, like your security team can set up one authorization object, and whichever user ID is assigned that authorization object, only those people will be able to run this transaction. And in the GUI support, you select what types of GUI this transaction should support. So I'll select all of them and click save. So this is my transaction. If I run this transaction, I can directly click on execute as well, but I'll open in a new window. So if I say /o this transaction code, it will show me the screen. Since we did not create any screen elements, it's simply displaying the blank screen. But if you see, I'll turn on the debugger by entering this /h, and when I hit enter, the screen is already displayed. I'm now performing certain action on the screen like hitting enter. Then it will trigger that PAI event because this is done after the screen is displayed. So if you are getting this screen, press F7 on your keyboard. So it is calling this PAI module, and then it goes to PBO and calls the PBO module, and then it will display my screen. So it basically loops between PBO, PAI, and then PBO, and then display the screen. That's how the whole screen flow works. Okay, so these are the 4 events that we'll be using. So we'll create one application and we'll try to handle something before the screen is displayed. For example, by the time the screen is displayed, you want to disable certain fields or dynamically decide which field should be displayed on the screen. Then you write all that logic in the PBO module, and once the user performs certain actions on the screen like selecting buttons or drop downs, then you want to trigger some code, then you write the code under PAI module. You basically call a module in the screen flow logic. So whatever code you want to execute, you write that code between this module and module. So we'll see one by one. So first we'll start with understanding the basic screen elements, how the data is transferred and all these things. And then we'll go into understanding more complex screen elements such as table controls, tab strip controls and subscreens. Okay. So see you in the next session.